It's Leo Musudisa.
Hi Noel, welcome to obviously the eFix. Congratulations again. Do you just want to introduce yourselves for the people that don't know who you are for today?
Yeah, 100%. My name is Neo Masadisa. I'm an electrical control systems engineer by day, an entrepreneur by night. So I've worked in the electrical industry for 10 years now. Started my apprenticeship in 2013 as an electrical maintenance engineer. Worked my way up through the ranks, eventually into control systems, and invented a product in the meantime, but we'll get into that in the future.
Oh, amazing. That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
So how long ago was it since you started your apprenticeship?
I started my apprenticeship in 2013, so 10 years now. I started in a steel factory in the Black Country, essentially just as a maintenance engineer, hands-on, getting dirty in the oil, in the muck, all that sort of stuff. Learned from a really experienced engineer who'd been doing it, longer than I've been alive. He started in '94. I was born in '94, so I was a bit green behind the ears at first, but he trained me through my whole apprenticeship a couple of years afterwards, and I'd like to think he'd done a good job.
Oh, amazing. That's wonderful to hear. How would you say being involved with something such as the 30 under 30 will affect your career going forwards?
I think the 30 under 30 will affect my career going forwards brilliantly, but I think for what it's already done for me, it's been phenomenal. So the recognition I've been able to achieve through people recognising the work that I've put in over the course of the last 4 years particularly, the support I've had from Lasico, the support I've had from eFix, it's been absolutely phenomenal. And I feel like as a networking event, it's a brilliant transition, almost like a passing of the torch between the old school electricians to the guys that are coming up, going through their apprenticeships, the guys that are probably just coming out of their apprenticeships, but they're still sort of green and learning. And I feel like it's needed. When I came into my apprenticeship, there was almost like a subsection of older engineers that had the stuck in their ways and a reluctancy to pass on information. And I feel like now we're really breaking through that door. And I think having the support from companies like Lasico, like E6 has been absolutely phenomenal. So I'm enjoying it.
Oh, amazing. That's wonderful to hear. How do you see imparting your knowledge to the next generation going? Are you looking forward to having your next apprentice and teaching them about what Lasico have done for you, the knowledge that you've picked up, and the way that the industry's also changed over the period of time that you've only been in it for 10 years?
Yeah, 100%. I think that was one of the privileges when I first sort of qualified from my apprenticeship. It was probably within the space of a year, I already had my own apprentice that I was sort of training and bringing along. And I felt that, I alluded to in my speech earlier, that one of the things that I felt is that I'll never be able to repay the people who train me, but what I can do is honour them by training the next generation. And even though I've still got a lot to learn myself, I think it's really important to support the next generation of electricians, the next generation of technicians. And I think having the support and recognition of companies that are able to validate my story, validate my experiences as an electrician, it really serves as a means for inspiration for the next generation, because the guys who I trained will see me now as a 30, eFix and Lasico 30 under 30 winner. And that will just spur them on to, really push forward and progress in development and incentivise them as well. So in a nutshell, I think I'm looking forward to everything that I can get and also everything I can offer as well.
That's wonderful to hear. I'm sure the next apprentice that's going to come along under you is going to be very lucky to understand, and to have the experience to be able to pass that on, because I think a lot of people in this industry have never had that recognition with being an electrician. It's the traditional electrician, they get paid too much money, but there's a lot of hard work that goes in behind it, the studying, the continued CPDs that Lasico and all of these guys sort of offer. To keep on top of that is, it's quite a lot of work, and it validates why we are where we are today.
Oh yes, phenomenal. I mean, if you even just looking at the lessons I've picked up today from the LED CPD we did today with Lasico, I'm learning things today. Electricians all around the board, all around the country, we're learning new things every single day. You never stop learning. So it's just, I think it's phenomenal to be able to not only impart that knowledge, but also to take it on board and to sort of to continue to push through. And I think it's endless, but I think that's very humbling about being an electrician, being a contractor, is you never stop learning. And I think that's a philosophy to carry forward in life. No matter what your field is, you've always got room for improvement. There's always people you can learn off. And I think if you're humble enough to understand that you don't know everything and you're willing to ask for help, you can really go as far as you want.
Yeah, you banged it nail on the head there. I was going to say you sound very humble for what you do, because we never know everything. There is always something new to learn, whether it's a new CPD, whether it's an updated training or an updated reg. So No, I really appreciate that. And how do you feel about nominating somebody for the next 30 under a year? Have you got somebody in mind that you would think of doing already? Or are you going to go home and sit there and go, there's some good candidates here, I'm going to have to narrow it down?
I'm open for candidates. So what I'd say is if you're under the age of 30 and you're interested in applying for 30 under 30, you want to aspire to be like the 30 under 30 cohort of 2023, then make yourselves visible. I'd say promote what you do on social media. They're a great opportunity for transparency on places like LinkedIn. If you've got a YouTube channel, what I'd say is don't be scared. Put out what you can do and what you have done, because we all had to start somewhere. I'm open for nominations, so anyone who's interested in putting yourself forward for 30 under 30, my name is Neil Mosadisa. You can follow me on LinkedIn, and I'd love to see the work that you can do and the progression going forward.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing your nomination coming up in the near future then.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks, Now.
Thank you.